Alright, so this video we're going to go over really about three things. The email you'll get when you register. So you've put in all your information, you paid your fee for joining Silver Air Patrol, and then when you hit submit, you'll get this email. And it basically says, congratulations and welcome to the Silver Air Patrol. It'll give you your CAP ID number. That is your personal number. You're going to need that for just about everything you do with the Silver Air Patrol. And then it gives you three links here. The first one is to register. So that is like number one priority as soon as you get this email, is to click on that link and register for an account to get into e-services. Once you click it, it'll take you to this page, and you put in simply four pieces of information: your last name, your last four of your social security, date of birth, and your email address. When you hit register, it'll send you an email that gives you a username and a password, and at that point you can go ahead and get into e-services, which is what all the other YouTube videos that I've done cover. Pretty much is a lot of the e-services things that you can do there. So that's priority number one. So once that's done, and you then use that new username and password to get into e-services, usually it's your 6-digit CAP ID number, like this one, and then it's a password that you will get, a temporary, and then you'll change it to make it your password, whatever you want your password to be. Personalize it. So once that's done, now you can get into e-services, and the other videos, as I said, on YouTube will help you with that aspect. The next page that you want to go to is this one here, and it takes you to a page called Help for New Cadets. And this is really an important part of your getting prepared for your cadet membership, because number one, it's got your first book, Leadership Chapter 1. You don't have to wait for it to show up in the mail. Usually your books will take about 15 days to get to you, but you can promote on the first promotion. You can promote as quickly as you get done the requirements, so you don't have to wait for your books to show up. If you simply click on this link, Leadership Chapter 1, it'll open a PDF. It is 24 pages, and all you got to do is read through this, make sure you understand it, and that'll give you what you need to take the test. Now, I'm going to change the size of this a little bit. The key to taking the tests, any of these tests, is to understand the objective. So explain why America needs leadership, and it's going to talk all about leadership. And if you can explain that, and these objectives here, that was the first objective. Here's the second, third, and fourth objectives. Explain what a warrior is in the context of a warrior spirit, and it'll talk about that. Warriors defend something valuable, their personal honor. Usually, if it's bolded in the beginning of the test, that's something you probably want to know. Later on, it gets a little bit harder because the bold's not there, but you'll still be able to pick out how to find the right answer. And I'll tell you this right now, when you go to take the actual test, use Control F, and when you do that, as you saw, it brings up this little box here. And so if you have a question that says, let's say, let me move this down to the bottom because I'm actually where I was going to use it. Let's say it asks you about warrior spirit. Well, if you put in the word warrior, it'll show you everywhere in this document where the word warrior occurs. Usually it goes from wherever your cursor is to the bottom, and it starts back up to the top. So hit next again, and it talks about it right here. It's highlighted in blue. And then hit next again, and here it starts to discuss the warrior spirit. So you're now in the right section. So if the test, when you take it, asks you a question of warrior spirit, hit Control F, so hold the control button and F at the same time, and it'll bring up this box. And I'll show you that again. Control F, the box pops up, put in the word. Now, do not put in 3 or 4 words. It works a whole lot better if you put in one word that's like a key word in the question to help find it in the actual document. If you put in a bunch of words, it's really not going to do it, because really it only picks up words that are next to each other. So if I put, for instance, warrior and let's say honor, even though it's here, it may not find it, and it didn't. But it's right here. Warrior and honor are both in the same sentence. But unless they're next to each other, so if I put in warrior defend, it will definitely pick up well, it should have. Anyway, warriors defend, that's why. See how it's very touchy. You got to put exactly what it says in order to get it to come up. And there, it found it right there. Highlighted it. But I left the S off, so it said, hey, there is nothing in there. So that's why you're better off using one word rather than 2 or more words to find what you're looking for. All right, so that's one thing that you'll find in that on that web page. Let's look at a couple more things, very important things. You have a super chart. Super charts are really big because this is how you map out what you're going to do in your CAP career. And we'll walk through this real quick. I show everybody this before they join up, but sometimes they don't pay attention. So let's go over here. As it says in the big red arrow, new cadets start here and read down, not across. So your first achievement will be achievement 1. That's called the John Curry. That gives you the rank of cadet airman when you complete that. It also gives you the ribbon, this ribbon here, the purple and white one, which you wear only with your blues, and you'll find out more about that as you learn more about Civil Air Patrol and Cap Reg 39-1, which is the regulation on how to wear your uniform. In that first column here, you are required to do a leadership test and a drill test. There is no aerospace requirement. You have a character forum, which is going to be the wingman forum, which is given by the chaplain or the commander if there is no chaplain. The activities is you got to participate actively, and then your fitness, you have to pass the physical fitness test. And then here are the standards for the physical fitness test. Now these standards here cover the entire first phase, so that's the first 4 ranks. So it's airman, airman first class, senior airman, and staff sergeant. And these requirements cover all 4 of these ranks. So you'll get more into this, but to just give you an idea, for instance, a mile run for males, if you're 13 years old, you have to do a 9:23 or better. Okay, right there. For females, same age, you need to do a 12:29 or better at 13 years of age. And then the other leadership expectations that we will grade you on to determine if you're fit to promote to the next rank will be your attitude. You should have a positive attitude, optimistic, enthusiastic, and team-oriented. Core values. You should be aware of the core values. Be honest, wear the uniform properly, and practice customs and courtesies. Communication skills. You should listen actively, and that's for this entire first 4 ranks. So up into this line here, this is called phase 1. All of this, all 4 of these ranks are called phase 1 up to this line. All right, and this is what we expect from you in those first 4 ranks. And finally, a sense of responsibility, follows directions, dependable, arrives ready to learn and serve, effective in managing your own time. Typical duties that we expect from the first 4 ranks will be basically somewhere in there you'll be a cadet element leader. You may be a little higher, depends on how many ranks are present in our system at the time that you're in it. Now the minimum time and grade. So this is what's required. Once you promote, you have a minimum time and grade. So the first one, you can promote anytime you're ready. There is no delay. If you get all this done and you show these leadership expectations and you pass your PT test and these elements here, then you can promote immediately to cadet airman. After that, each of these ranks require an 8-week period. So to go from airman to airman first class, it's going to be 8 weeks. Airman first class to senior airman is going to be 8 weeks minimum. And you can see that right down here. So just be prepared that that's what the requirement is. And that's all I'm really going to go into on this sheet at this time, because that's the basics and that's the beginning of what you need to know. Another thing that you might want to print out is going to be your personal cadet tracker. And this basically projects your goals. And you really need to have a goal to be successful. So what you want to do is you want to fill these in as you go. I took the leadership online test. Here's the date I completed. Here's the score I got. I took the leadership drill test. Here's the date I did it. Here's the score I got. There is no aerospace online test. And then there's a fitness test, so the date you did it, and passed, of course, and then your character form that you need, what date you did that. So you fill this out and project 56 days from this date of your promotion, you should be ready to promote to Airman First Class. And it just goes through all the ranks and gives you some cap regs to look at if you want to look at that, and some other notes here that are good for you to be familiar with. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thanks.